Let's take some calls, shall we? Let's go to Lee, Hudson Valley, New York, the great WABC. Yes, Lee, how may I help you?
How are you tonight, the great one?
Oh, very well. Thank you, sir.
I'd like to thank you for everything you do. I am a former registered Democrat, changed to Republican this year.
Really?
Well, my grandmother was a public servant for 27 years in the state of New York, and when I became 18, she made sure that I registered as a Democrat as she was.
Right.
But I do not follow any of the Democratic Party's philosophies at all. Really wasn't into politics until the last few years. And actually, after my grandmother retired, she actually got into an argument with a few of her fellow Democrat politicians with their policies after she retired.
Mm-hmm. So she became more conservative.
Oh, yes. Well, see, she was like, it's hard for me to explain. You know how the older generation had an elegance or an assumed you had to look up to them type of
right.
aurora about them?
Right.
And she was a town clerk, and I can remember as a kid being in her house, and it would be a Saturday evening, Sunday evening, dinner on the table, and there would be a knock on the door, and it would be two young people looking for a marriage license. Mm-hmm. And instead of her getting angry or what, or being disturbed with dinner, she would say, oh, you two young children, come right in the house and sit down, and I'll get out the paperwork for you. And they'd be like, oh, no, we're interrupting dinner. No, this is more important. Dinner can wait.
Wow.
And that's just the way she was, and that's why she was there 27 years. Everybody in the township absolutely loved her.
Now, what caused you to change her?
Well, like I said, I registered as that because that's what she was and that's what she believed in. But as I got to be more political and looked into what everybody's philosophies are, I just do not coincide with anything the Democrats are pushing or what they
So
believe
I take it you won't be voting for Obama this time?
Myself nor my wife.
Now, did you guys vote for him last time?
We made that unbearable mistake.
You know, it's interestingly, there's a whole huge number of folks like you, and that's a good thing. That's a good thing.
I know, but you know what it was, Mark, was I really didn't like McCain. He wasn't a real
party
candidate. And I just listened to everything that Barack said, and he's going to change this, he's going to change everything that we all wanted to hear. That's basically what he ran on, everything we all wanted to hear. And then it irritated me even more when the reporters went and interviewed Miss Pelosi and called her on it after he was elected and said, you know, the people are kind of angry because the majority of people in America voted for Mr. Obama on these platforms that he ran on, these campaign promises, and she turns around and looks at the reporter and goes, what? You can't expect him to honor election campaign promises.
Right.
Are you kidding me? Then what do people in this country run on that? Are we supposed to not believe anything they run on as a platform?
Well, the liberals, you can't believe anything they run on because their promises are impossible.
Well,
it's impossible to give everybody free health care, to get it when they need it, how they need it, without limits on it. It's just not. And yet, on one side of their mouth, they say that, and on the other side of their mouth, they talk about cost controls and cutting and all the rest of it. It's just an impossibility. It's all whether it's health care or the environment or food stamps or whatever the hell it is, it's always the same thing. Lee, welcome aboard. God bless you, my friend. You and your wife, make sure you vote and vote on time. You take care. I have hope, folks. I think there are an enormous number of people who feel that Obama screwed them. Now, many of us knew what he was up to. But that's okay. We want you folks, too. We need you. The more, the merrier.